A bizarre twist in the murder investigation of a couple from Dixon. Firefighters found John Goldtrap and Lisa McDonald's dead inside their home on McFarland Lane last week. Detectives say whoever killed them tried to cover it up by setting the house on fire. Yesterday, police arrested Jamie Donegan, not for their murders, but for allegedly calling one of the victims' fathers, claiming he knew who killed them. He then offered to kill that person in exchange for cash. Donegan is now charged with solicitation to commit murder while investigators try to track down the real killer.
We are trying to get to the bottom of a terrible crime, of a double homicide that occurred last week. And our investigators in the past week have had to deal not only with that, but also now with this.
Anyone with information about the case is asked to call the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND.
This morning, the first customer to be connected with child sex trafficking will be sentenced in court. Michael Kohlmeyer, pictured there, was found guilty back in October after he contacted a website looking for a minor prostitute. Human trafficking does continue to be a big problem in Tennessee. The TBI hoping to address the human trafficking problem with the help of a new bill that went through the legislative session. News Channel 5's Matthew Torres is live outside of TBI headquarters this morning to explain what it's all about. Matthew, good morning.
Good morning, Steve. The TBI is praising General Assembly for what they say are taking efforts in hopes to fight down and reduce the amount of human trafficking cases here in Tennessee, which is again a huge problem. Yesterday morning, General Assembly passed this bill, which essentially provides funding for TBI. It will allow them to hire 4 special agents for TBI to help train, investigate, and convict these human trafficking cases. And really, it's all about education. According to the recent statistics from TBI, about 750 to 1,500 that number of sex trafficking victims here in Tennessee every single year, which is why they are wanting to provide the right education when handling these type of cases to local law enforcement. The bill will provide funding for creating courses and presentations to departments within the state in order to properly handle complaints, including officers who have to take 2-hour training courses when handling these complaints. All of these changes should take effect by January of next year. As far as the agents, they're looking to get them in by July of this year. But above all, it's not only the TBI that's taking the steps necessary to reduce the amount of cases. For instance, Cheatham County, just earlier this month, they held sex trafficking workshops to help their local law enforcement with educating about these crimes. We are reporting live outside the TBI headquarters this morning. I'm Matthew Torres, News Channel 5 HD.
Matthew, thanks. And right now, police are trying to track down the man accused of robbing a gas station overnight. It happened at the Marathon on Old Hickory Boulevard in North Nashville around 3:15 this morning. The man walked up to the clerk and pounded on the counter demanding cash. The clerk thought he was armed, so handed it over, and the suspect took off. If you recognize him, police would like to hear from you.
This morning, we know the identity of the man who died in that crash yesterday morning with the MTA bus. William Forsyth is his name, 30 years of age. That red car that he was in crossed the center line and went right into the bus head on along Charlotte Avenue around 6 o'clock yesterday morning. And there were no brake marks, no skid marks, nothing. They believe the man may have fallen asleep or had some sort of medical condition. No drugs or alcohol found on the scene at all. No one on the bus was hurt. We're also learning more about a crash that killed a 10-year-old boy in Smyrna Tuesday night. Police have identified that boy as Joseph Earls. They say he died after being thrown from the Ford Explorer on Old Nashville Highway. His mom, stepdad, and 12-year-old brother were also in the vehicle, and they were hurt. Since he was thrown from the vehicle, usually that means seatbelts were not in use, and police verify that. They say the children were not buckled up. Luis Hernandez was driving the Chevy S10 pickup, also involved in the crash. He didn't have a license. The investigation into the crash is ongoing. Only took an hour and a half. That's how long it took the jury to convict this Clarksville woman, Nicole Pamblanco, for drowning her 8-month-old child accidentally. She was found guilty of aggravated child neglect and criminally negligent homicide. Prosecutors say she left the infant in the running bathtub all alone back in 2013 while she went to answer the door and then stood and talked to the neighbor and forgot about the baby. She could be facing 25 years in prison. A man is behind bars this morning accused of dealing drugs to undercover officers while his young children were right there in the room. Danny Goodlow is facing 10 charges, including aggravated child neglect. Earlier in the month, undercover officers purchased crack cocaine from him at the Crutcher Street home. Yesterday, officers searched the home. They arrested Goodlow. The children, who are 5 and 1, live at that home with him. He's expected in court tomorrow.
New developments about the student accused of assaulting a high school football coach. A judge decided to keep that 17-year-old in custody until his hearing next May or June, in May or June of this year, I should say. It will be decided whether to try him as an adult or a juvenile. We're told the student has had problems in the past and even had to take court-ordered anger management classes. Meanwhile, that coach, Ron Adelut, is out of the hospital but with serious injuries. He has a broken nose, broken jaw, and broken eye socket. He has to return to the hospital after the swelling goes down.
We've got a live view right now of Bridgestone Arena this morning. Sunny skies, looking great down there. Let's hope for a win in Game 5 as your Predators fight to stay alive in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now, the Preds did not have a great road trip. They lost games 3 and 4 up in Chicago against the Blackhawks, but boy, fought them hard both games. So now they're behind in the series 3-1. Remember, it's a best of 7, so the first one to win 4 is it. So tonight, it's win or go home for the season. The puck drops tonight at 8:30. Go Preds. All right, switching from hockey to how about some running. Thousands of runners are headed to Music City this weekend for the big St. Jude Country Music Marathon, half marathon. Many of them will be downtown today because it's day 1 of the Health and Fitness Expo at the Music City Center. News Channel 5's Cuthbert Langley is there this morning. You're not doing any more exercising. You're not jogging. I guess you're ready to run now, right?
I'm ready. Yeah, let's let this bus go by. I'm ready to go, Steve. I think you and I need to have a race. I've been hearing you and Amy talking about me a little bit, and I think you and I need to race to solve once and for all who the best runner is, because it'll be me, just straight up. But anyway, I will actually not be running this weekend because we're going to be having coverage Saturday morning. We're going to be all over the place, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And that fun really kicks off today here at the Music City Center. It is that Fitness and Health Expo. But get this, guys. 36,000 people raced last year alone. That is a huge number. They came from all over the world. The starting line this year will be on Lower Broadway in the best spot possible, right there around all of those honky tonks. It is going to be a blast. They're going to have 50 different bands performing along the race course. Of course, as you said, Steve, you can do the full marathon, the half, or the 5K as well. There also is a kids race Sunday at LP Field, so it really is fun for the entire family. The race is from Broadway through Belmont, then through Music Row, and then around LP Field. Now, while the gun doesn't go off till Saturday morning at 7, as I said, the events begin today with this Health and Fitness Expo. Starts at noon at the Music City Center. There are going to be nearly 100 exhibitors offering free samples, showcasing the latest in running gear, sports apparel, all of that fun stuff. And most importantly, all runners must visit the expo to pick up their race number, their bibs, their t-shirts. So it starts from noon to 7 today, and then tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 7. So you have plenty of time to come out here. Martina McBride is going to be headlining the big concert that's Saturday night as well. She is expected to take the stage around 7 o'clock. So it really is going to be a fun weekend. And Steve and Amy, I know we've talked about this, but you guys have covered it before, and you guys can talk about just how much fun it is for everybody, even if you're not running.
It is. I've only walked it once with my husband a few years ago, but I know this is the first year in years you haven't done it.
Yeah, we're going to do the half. I've done the full one time. I've done the half a few times, and it is. If you're in Nashville, if you've lived here a long time or just moved here, do that at least once because it's such a great experience. And Cuthbert, you're going to do it next year, right?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll do the half. How about this? I'll do the half marathon.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do 26 miles. And I do know what a bib is. I have run before. The big 10K in Charleston, South Carolina. I ran that.
And he got you good on that.
I'm offended.
Our director just said, yeah, you will know what a bib is because you're so young.
Well, you're so old, you probably need one too.
Oh,
you know what? I will race you. I'll race you to like Shoney's, and I guarantee you I'll beat you. All right. Sounds good.
Thank you very much. And again, that expo today and tomorrow.